Hello everyone, my name is Eric Naramore. In the FPV community, I go by the name of Hugin FPV. Today in this video, I'm going to show you how to assemble the Lumenier QAV-R2 Deadcat frame. Let's get started. Types of QAV-R2 frames. The normal QAV-R2 frame is a freestyle squashed X carbon fiber frame with three sizes of arms, a 5-inch, a 6-inch, and a 7-inch. The QAV-R2 Slam edition just has a lower center of gravity. By changing out the standoffs to 20mm, it just gives it a different profile. It still comes in three arm length sizes of 5-inch, 6-inch, and 7-inch. Made of full 3K carbon fiber, the top plate is 2mm, the bottom is 2.5. In addition, it has 4.5mm arms for the 5 and 6 and 5mm arms for the 7-inch. Your stacks can be 30 by 30, R by 20 by 20 in the center, and in the back part of the frame you have 20 by 20 mounting holes as well. The QAV-R2 Slam trades out the normal 28mm standoffs for 20mm standoffs. So instead of being able to fit a full-size FPV camera, you are going to have to use a micro-size FPV camera. This does lower the center of gravity, which some pilots prefer. Here you can see them side by side, where you can see that the standoffs lengths is really the main difference between the two. Which one do you prefer? Are you a low rider, or do you like to have a little bit more extra space to cram as much you can in there? The QAV-R2 Deadcat is still a freestyle frame, but instead of being a Squash X, it is a Deadcat style configuration. It still comes in a 5-inch, a 6-inch, and a 7-inch, as well as the Slam Deadcat, which, remember, that just reduces the standoff size from the 28mm to the 20mm. So we talked about what the difference is between the normal version and the Slam version. Now we're going to talk about the differences between the Squash X configuration and the Deadcat configuration. The Deadcat configuration has an extended back. This extended back has both 20/20 and 30/30 mounting holes in the back. They did this because digital FPV has been picking up, and with the original type of QAV-R2, you could only fit it in the center, the full air unit. You actually had to use 35mm standoffs versus the 28mm standoffs. With the Deadcat style, you can fit the air unit right and back, still using the 28mm standoffs.
What is inside? So right here we have a Lumenier Deadcat 5-inch freestyle quadcopter frame. This is the packaging it comes in. I guess you can just rip this out here. Let's rip it up. Comes with the battery strap, the battery pad, bunch of zip ties, keep your nice clean wires, neoprene skids. I usually don't tend to use them, and these are your 28 standoffs. It also has the gummies in there to protect your flight controller from vibrations. And it also has the plastic FPV cameras for you that you can use for micros if you do not like to use the carbon fiber side things, the side camera mounts. So that's what those are. This right here is the guide plate for the arms, your hardware. And so you'll have essentially three sizes. You're gonna have your short, your medium, and then your long ones. The long ones are generally going to be going through both the bottom brace plate as well as the bottom plate, and then the ones that are right here are going to be your stack screws. This is the top plate. This is the forward, obviously where you put the FPV camera. All comes sealed. So this is the bottom plate. It has the washers inside. That way when you put the screw in, it comes up through here and then it's still retained right there. So your shorter arms right here are going to be your forward arms, and your back arms are going to be your longer arms. And then this right here, I just refer to this as the bottom brace plate. So let's get started. All right, step one, what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the guide plate, and we're gonna use the bottom brace plate and the bottom plate, and we're going to use one of the arms. I have just started off with the front arm. I don't think it really matters, just pick one. And then we're going to get that one arm in there after we have the screw go through there, and we're going to then be able to align all the other ones. So that's going to be step one. Okay, there's the 6.6. Sorry, you have one closer to 6.6 and the other one's significantly smaller, and the ones that are significantly smaller are going to be for your forward arms. What this does is you have the grooves in the arms, and the grooves will very easily slide in one but not the other, so they go all the way in on one of them but not the other. So see how that one slides in like that. Just kind of assembling it so you can see what that does. And then obviously you're going to have a screw that goes through that, and then that brace plate is going to go on there, and then that's going to all the hardware is going to go up through here like this. There we go, like this, and it's going to hold it, but that's going to give the whole frame itself, it stiffens it, hardens it out, but make sure that your arms don't wobble, but also allows for really fast, easy arm replacements. What I always like to do is make sure I have the right orientation. So this is going to be your front part of it. You can see where the camera goes there. So we find these smaller ones. Make sure it goes in there. And what I'm looking for is one that will very easily slide all the way down. So once I have the one that slides all the way down, I know that that's the one that I want to use. I'm going to then align it to the bottom plate, roughly align it into the screws that go down here, get the bottom brace plate, put the screw in there, just feel it, move it around until it goes in there. So once I have it at least in there, just finger tight, well, I can still see, I'm then gonna grab one of the other ones that hold it together, and I want to use either one of these two holes. Doesn't need to be tight. I'm just trying to put it in there to hold it in place. So that's probably the hardest step in this entire frame build, is just to set that up right and then get the arm in there. After you do that, it's pretty much cake. You just push that in so that you can clearly see the the holes in there. Just grab those little medium-sized screws. Just get them in there hand tight. It doesn't need to be super tight until you got everything in there aligned. Okay, the next one is the back arms, and the back arms will slide just nice and neat one way. So you try to get them to go in, and if they go in and the holes align, then you're good to go. And just grab one of those nuts, and the one that's closer to the other arm. That's probably the easiest one to do. And the reason why I say that is because the aft or the back, if you're nautical or not, right here is going to be where one of the stacks are going to go. Stack screws. Which is same size, so as I said, doesn't really matter too much. So when you get to where you're going to be putting in the standoffs for the back arms, you want to make sure that these are going to be your longer screws compared to your other hardware. So you have kind of like the longest one, and I'll have a picture or I'll list them here but the longer ones are what you're going to need. And this is the back part of the frame. They're going to go through here. So just push them through. Then while you're still pushing it down with your thumb, just grab one of your standoffs and just kind of twist it on real fast. Just needs to be snug, doesn't need to be torqued down. And just grab the other one. And we're going to go ahead and call that like the end of part 1. The next part is pretty much just putting in your different standoffs. So we'll consider this the beginning of step 2, end of step 1. This is how the frame should look like. Pretty much you have your bottom brace plate in there. It has that little X underneath this screw here that allows you to put your arms in here tight, nice and snug. And then right now the only standoffs I have right here are the back ones, and that was just to kind of show you right here. So the next part is we're going to be putting in our standoff screws. The standoff screws, with the exception of the back 2, are going to be your medium size, so they can just fit in there, and then so you don't have to worry too much about them. Just once you have them in there, just drop them like that. Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do, honestly. Just screw them in, twist them in. I don't know if you want to be super politically correct. Just real fast. Might speed this up. Then you could put little garments right on there. Okay, so we'll consider that the end of step 2. Step 3 is really just putting on the top frame. The camera little hole thingies, when you have this little swoosh, half moon, crescent, arc, whatever you want to call it, that's going to go closer to your standoff on either side. Again, you have one, the bottom side has just one tab on it, the top one has 2, so I'll put the other one right there. So I'm just initially just slightly screwing one screw in there, just enough to get a couple threads in there. And then what I'll do is I'll make sure that those tabs from the camera plate, camera shield guard, whatever, get slotted in there, and then I'll screw the second screw all the way down to hand height, and that allows me to align everything really fast. Alright, so pretty much the frame is assembled at this point in time. And then if you want to use the included battery, foam rubber pad, you want to call it, obviously it's double sticky tape. It's a pretty good one. I use it on this, or I use OmniGrip. It just really depends on what you want to do. It goes on like that. This is how the frame looks. Oh yeah. Look at that. So this section I just kind of want to show you, optional to the frame, is how you would place either your air unit or your Caddx Vista. Don't know why you'd want to use a Nebula, but Caddx Vista and Nebula are just a change of the camera. The really cool thing about this is Lumenier set up for this so that it's big enough for the air unit. With the initial QAV-R2, it all had to fit in the center part of it, so they extended the back part of it so you could fit the full air unit in there. With the regular Caddx, with the regular air unit, the cord's long enough to easily mount your camera wherever you want it and go underneath your flight controllers and everything like that. So you could technically still put it up here if you want to. At the end part here, I usually use VHB tape or double-sided sticky tape, and then I will generally cut a hole through there if I am, so I can mount my wires through there if I'm going to mount them underneath there, or I can fold them up underneath. Either way, it's just however you want to do your clean build. For the Caddx Vista, it's really clean as you have 20 by 2020 mounts on either the back, which is what they consider the back, or the front, so you can choose where you want to mount the Caddx Vista. They do sell the Caddx Vista with different lengths for the camera, so that is something that you want to think about, and that's why I said try to do your dry fitting to make sure that your ESC, your flight controller, and if you're doing a build with a DJI air unit, you generally are using just the Caddx Vista or their air unit. And some people will also use their own RX, so make sure that they all fit. Let me know in the comments how I did overall throughout this video. Just trying to do this to help out people that really haven't built frames before. And again, this is really a solid frame. It's one of my favorite frames to do. It's right now my primary freestyle frame. I like it because you have that versatility. It comes in 5-inch, 6-inch, and 7-inch, so I don't have to just use it for my freestyle. This 6-inch frame that I'm building is going to be really for like a cinematic cruiser, fast ripper, medium range that can do freestyle. My other 5 inches are my normal freestyle, but I'm trying out this one right here. I may like 6-inch freestyle down the road, and I may go with a 7-inch for a long range cinematic. So, hope you enjoyed this. Later.